Welcome everyone. Today we'll be talking about what is communication. So we will be talking everything about communication, the finer nuances with specific emphasis on the theories for brand, the behavioral and communication theories for brand. So please have a clear understanding as to what B2B communication, B2C communications of corporate bodies should entail upon it. This presentation would be a little bit longer. So please bear with me. And I'm sure you would be greatly benefited after watching this video. Every thoughts regarding corporate branding communication procedures would be clarified henceforth. So marketing communication, let us understand what are the basic premises around it. We will be talking in terms of the definition. So basic premises, the basic institute of Marcom. Marcom is the short form of marketing communication. It's the first three alphabets of the two words that we talk about Marcom, and it's a prevalent terminology. So process of communication and its basic elements, evolution of marketing communication concept, world discussions on integrated marketing communication as in the best practices that has been there. We will be talking about how things have been taking place, what are the elements, what are the features, what are the basic principles that one needs to adhere to as far as integrated marketing communication is concerned. So we'll talk about everything about effective marketing communication in the form of defining the target audience, probably the choice of medium, definitely about the message, should cover the budgeting part, and having an appropriate monitoring and control. So let us visit this particular topic in depth. So first and foremost thing, what do we know about marketing? What is it all about it? People often confuse marketing with sales. No, sales is where there's an exact transaction between a customer and the corporate body. Transaction which involves exchange of services or probably enjoying of exchange of products. So that is what we are looking into it. So marketing is the activity set of institution and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, exchanging. So this is a set of procedures and a communication procedures. Remember, there are no transactions. In sales, you exchange products in lieu of money. You extend services in lieu of money. But here we are just creating the appropriate conditions. Remember, for those exchanges, nothing else. We are inciting, we are creating a demand by giving certain offerings that have values for the customers, the clients, the partners, and basically society at large. So marketing is an activity of set of institution and process. Remember, it is the way we communicate, we create demand and deliver them, exchange them, probably give value to the customers, clients, and therefore everyone in the society thereby. Now, if that is marketing, so what exactly is communication? Remember, herein, I would love to stress a little bit about the communications for your understanding as to now we will be talking communication in terms of an audience, a larger audience where another organization is communicating to a larger audience. It is an act or an instant of transmitting of what ideas, transmitting of what thoughts, transmitting of what promotions. So it's a verbal or a written message, definitely yes. There is an information exchange between individuals through a common system of sign behavior. We all talk about it. So basically a system, let us say for telecommunication, for through which it is been routed through. Nowadays a lot of marketing communication happens through short messaging services, or via mobile call or teleconferencing, as the case might be, a technique for expressing ideas as effectively as in speech, the technology for transmitting of information by print or so basically what we are talking around here, we will be talking about the marketing communication. Thereby, we need to understand how a product is being sold, how the product communication is being transmitted. to the desired audiences. It is through the product, it is through the information, it is through the target audiences. Yes, that is what we are looking into it. We need to ensure how everything comes across. We are having an amalgamation of product, services, information, and the audiences thereby. This we need to understand every nuances that we can come to think of it. So that is the perfect marriage, and it will be a hit for the corporate if the target audiences receives the target desired message and amplifies the sales of the product. That is what we are looking out here. So remember, it is from the product that the information has to be generated. From the product, the unique sales proposition or USP of that thing needs to be communicated. And what does the information has to be done? It has to be transmitted to the target audiences. Yes, that is what we are looking forward towards it. So let us understand marketing mix thereby. Marketing mix as what exactly it is all about it. Marketing mix is nothing but a concussions of four P's around here. That is all about product, all about price, all about promotion, and all about place. Remember, the product will tell us the characteristic, the packaging, the branding, the name, the guarantees, the warranties. It is all about the product that we are talking about it. Essentially, the USP, the unique sales proposition, or in layman word, the quality which it will determine, which it will signify, is what the product is all about it. Now let us come to the price point. Now this is a point which is to be targeted, which should be pocket friendly to the audiences. Remember, wherever if I'm saying a pocket friendly, I am also earmarking everybody from the lowest of low strata to the highest of the high strata of the society. When we are talking about a niche product, it might be expensively priced altogether. Remember, in this case, it is the target audience that we are talking about it. So we need to be price sensitive as with respect to the target audiences. That is what we are looking out here. So list price, usual terms of payment, usual discounts, the terms of credit, the long-term saving campaign is what we are looking out here. So product and price should be compatible. Now this should be compatible with what? With the audiences, with the target audiences. Now, just having the right product and the right price doesn't ensures a quick revenue, a quick profitability. It should be accessible, right? And that is where the third P comes in. It is the accessibility of the products. Now, this is the place where we are talking about the distribution channel. We are talking about the availability of the product as on when on basis, the trade relation mix, the policy margin, the terms of delivery, and so on and so forth. So here we have the right concoction. We might have the right product at the right price and are available as on when on required basis. Well, if all these three have been in place, does it mean that the audience, the target audience, or the customers will come to know of it? Probably not. Now is the place where we are talking about communication. We need to communicate them to them about the product, about the price, and their availability. And this promotion is what Marcom is all about it. The marketing mix or the marketing communication consists of promotion in terms of advertising, sales promotion, personal selling or PR, personal relationships. That is where we build upon it, in cash upon it, and go about with the marketing mix thereby. So Marcom main objective is to inform about the launching of the product, explanation of the product's benefits, the features, reminding about the product in the sales growth phase, competitive position. That is what we are talking around it. Persuading the target audiences, remembering them that yes, whatever you are getting at a right price point, applies to the consumer memory brand or the recall factor. And this is what Marcom is all supposed to be known out here. That is what we believe even so let us understand the market Markov mix in a little wee bit detail. It is the communication. Now, how do we go about it? First and foremost thing is advertisement. A plain simple marketing communication is advertisement, be it in a print media, be it in a social media, be it in a moving media, and the way you want to go around it, your medium, you decide upon it. It is a marketing event, it is an advertising, it's a one-way communication that needs to be hammered around. If that is not enough, people can go for event marketing. Create event in and around the products, create events so that it enhances a greater recall value. Then we are talking about product placement in absolutely categorizing the product to a particular audience altogether. I have already utilized this term in this particular presentation of lowest of low strata of the society to the highest of the high strata of the society. So we have a complete strata. The society can be fragmented at the low income, medium income, high medium income, higher income, absolutely ultra high income people, target audiences, and that is what we need to go about the product placement. Then probably we're looking at a new media. Probably yes, this is where we create forge a new bond. Probably we have a mixture of medias, let's say from print media to we can transmit the messages to and bring the audience to the social media or a virtual media that we're talking about it. There is the POS material or the point of sales material, probably what has been done, how it has been communicated at the sales point altogether. Now, what are the leaflet that we discuss about it? What are the details that is been mentioned? Then there's a sales promotion. You know, the most happening promotion is BOGO, BOGO, that is buy one, get one, or any other mix that you can go around it. The sales promotion, buy one, buy this product and get that product, something like that. We have the mobile communication that happens off late through short messaging services, through certain links that has been promoted. Yes, it is the internet is another backyard where nowadays a lot of communication process takes place. Merchandising is one of those things wherein we are basically creating byproduct or extension of the product and probably creating some sort of value, some sort of memory recall about the product. Then is the sponsorship. Yes, out here when we are sponsoring as a product, as a company to a certain event altogether, back it might be a small event, as small event as a college festival. So that is what we are talking about it. Yes, we are building the public relation. Yes, this is the all the communication program that comes around it under Marcom. So we need to understand the basic instruments. First is the advertisement, the sales promotions, the public relations, the direct messaging, the exhibition. Yes, often, more often than not, participating in a industry exhibition also helps you to stabilize or probably make your product prominent, make your company prominent in the segregated audiences. So we are trying to build up a corporate image. We are trying for much and much more and more uh, personal relationship building bonds and personal selling. Yes, I have discussed about sponsorship. The packaging of the product, though often negated, has come into prominence of late. It is the way you pack a product, that it is the way you present a product. Now what is happening is they say the making a decent product is not good enough. The way it should be visualized or being perceived by the end customer is as important. So here is the point of packaging and point of sales material. Yes, definitely nobody can still beat the word in mouth concepts of marketing, the internet, the product placement. Yes, what we are talking about, the communication theory. Now let me give you a very basic understanding of communication theory. Remember, in a communication theory we are the senders who basically have a message which needs to be encoded, and the message need to be communicated through a channel. Yes, definitely once this has been channelized, the message then receives to be decoded and probably received by the receiver. This is what we are talking about it. Yes, in the channel are the barriers to the noises. barriers to the interpretation of coding and decoding. This is what we call about feedback and responses and the communication channel. Remember, it goes on and on and on and on. This is what the communication theory is all about. It now let me marry that particular the previous slide to how we can go forward towards a marcom or marketing communication. Remember, as in the earlier communication, I'll go through each of the process minutely for your understanding. Please devote a little bit of your time in this particular slide. In case if you want, do review it once more before you will understand. Remember, sender is a party which sends a message to one another party, one or many parties. So major parties in communication that we are talking about here. Yes, we are talking about the messages. It's a set of messages. Remember, when I set of message, I'm talking about it. It might be advertisement will be repeated one. It might be a continuation of advertisement or a variation of advertisement that has been done. Two, third part is where we can have a multi-pronged approach with the advertisement or the marketing communication through different channel, of course. So it's a major communication tool that we are talking about it. Let us now talk about the encoding part of. Remember, putting them through a symbolic forms, be it on the net, be it on the social media, be it on the online. If that is what we have been talking around it, let us move to the print media, let us move to the television, let us move to the billboards and so on. So it's one of the communication function that we take place in. This is where we need to understand and identify whatever I've said about the various channels through which message can be spoken. It can be in a virtual media, it can be in a physical media form. So again, one of the major communication tools. This is where we need to come to the next step of communication, as in decoding is concerned. Decoding is by process by which the receivers probably get themselves associated to the sender's transmitted symbols. Now, this is what we are talking about it. Remember a brand called iPhone. Everybody would love to flaunt an iPhone. Why? Because the decoding part of the receiver says that if you possess an iPhone, probably you are doing reasonably well in your life. So that's one of the communication functions that becomes around it. Yes, we talk about the receivers. The party receiving the message is the audience, the major parties of communication. Remember, the sender and the receiver is what we are talking around here. This is what we should be talking, and plays definitive interest out there. Response is how the set of reaction follows. Exposures, receptions of the messages, thereby. So one of the communication functions that comes across it. Now, what we are talking about the noises, it's an unplanned, static distortion during the process. There's completely misinterpretations. People might get bugged off. People might get switched off by probably one of those functions which you may have overlooked in your marketing communication. Probably you are not tuned to the sensibilities of the general public, that the case might be. So this is where the feedback is all about. The part of responses get transmitted to the sender, and again a part of a communication function. So I'm sure with Marcom you have understood everything about the concept, but still let me assure you what marketing communication is all about. It is everything about the market, it is everything about the media, it is everything about the content. At the end of the day, it is all about the customers. So we are marketing, we are media and communication, and we are consumers. So shift from mass marketing to product oriented concept. Now, this is what we have been doing earlier ways. It was one way marketing. It was basically a mass marketing. Now, with coming to the product oriented concept, it was from 1950s to early 2000s. Now we are getting it personalized altogether with the advent and the prevalence of internet. So let us focus on whom? The focus on the customers, focus on whom? On the database marketing. What is database marketing is now it is basically very easy for us to understand who are keen to a certain types, certain features uh, of their interest and things like that. We can accumulate data, people who are fond of food would be categorized, and probably we can target them. Somebody who's interested, who is very much obsessed with traveling here and there, will be targeted in a different fashion, and the data can be collated all together. And that is what the focus is all about. It let us not target everybody in the society. Let us have a focus group to be targeted upon, and this yields a very good result. So we are talking about integrated communication. We are talking about getting the desired result as on when on basis. That is what the demand is. Integrated marketing communication, or IMC, is just a planning process designed to assure you that all brand contacts received by a customer or prospect for a product, for a service, for an organization are relevant to that person. And remember, these are consistent over a period of time. IMC, or integrated marketing communication requirements, are an awareness of audience habits and preferences. Did I say somebody is a travel, somebody has been bitten by the travel bug? Somebody is a foodie, somebody would love to click photographs, and we can have n numbers of interest areas. So let us understand the audience habits, the preferences. Understanding of the audience knowledge and beliefs helps us to be much more effective in terms of IMCs are concerned. IMC, I again refer as integrated marketing communication. Use of coordinated media blend linked to a specific objective. Keys in single coordinated message and image is being thrust upon. We are talking about this synergy that can be built upon. Yes, why the synergy? Because we already know the unique selling proposition or the unique features of our own product. Now we also like to gather data as to which all the audiences that we are targeting, and if we can focus our marketing communication to the target audiences, the results gets amplified. It means a better use of communication funds, because the return on capital employed or return on the investment in terms of advertising as concerns are higher. So it's mostly a balancing between a push and a pull strategy. Improves the company's ability to reach the right consumer at the right place, at the right time, and with the right message. So, again, I am talking about having an improvement in reach to the right consumer at the right place and time, with the right message that we go around it. Now, what is a push and pull strategy? People would be asking around it. It's a direct communication efforts at the channel members. Many products, such as business products, are promoted with a push strategy involving personal selling, using of trade promotion. So basically, I have a product and I want to get my product sold out. So I'm trying to literally push my products over the counter, either through a promotion or through an incentive, whatever you go around it. Whereas in a pull strategy is a direct promotion at the end of the consumers, right? Remember, this is at the end of the consumer. So most consumer would rely heavily on pull strategy. When promotion is directed at the consumer to stimulate demand, it is as on when on basis. The pull strategy comes around it. You might try to incentivize the consumers with a pull strategy. So, for you to understand, a pictographical representation of a push and a pull strategy has been mentioned out here. In a push strategy, the producers is trying to push it to the consumer. Remember, the producer pushes to the wholesaler, who entail pushes to the retailers and the consumer. Now, people will say, how are you pushing it through? Giving a higher margin, higher commission, higher brokerage. Give a higher brokerage to a wholesaler, definitely he'll be happy. Give a detail or enhance brokerage to the retailer, he will be happy. Give a discount to a consumer, he will be happy. At the end of the day, the producer's content or inventory is getting lessened. Whereas in the pull strategy is the communication flow that comes around it. The producer is talking directly to the consumers and probably are not giving a huge amount of commission or brokerages out here. The consumer has been stimulated and in demand is consumer itself is asking for the required details of the product from the retailer, who entail get it from the wholesaler, and probably the producer is making a money out here. Remember, this is the product flow and this is the communication flow. So producer directly speaks to the consumer through IMC, integrated marketing communication, creates a demand, and probably the wholesaler and retailer will I be at the receiving end, not being able to ask of for a huge brokerages as such that product is being flying off the shelf. So what else is important? I don't think segmentation, targeting and positioning. Definitely yes, segmentation is as important as targeting and positioning. Remember segmentation of your customers, end customers. Did I say based on their interest? Did I say based on the demographic? Did I say the based on the appeal of the product? We need to segment the audiences. We need to target those audiences. Remember, if we cannot target that audiences, it is not going to make a viable impact. And last but not the least would be positioning. Now therein the this is the case where you need to position the product based on the segmentation of the target audiences. Yes, that is how we create values for the end customer. Segmentation, a market is basically into different. You look what we have done with an orange and the slices thereby. So it's a set of an individuals unique in some ways or the other, sharing of one or more characteristics, having similar needs, responding to the market condition in the right fashion, have similar behavior patterns, maybe, may not be belonging to the same community group or niche. Now, I have been trying to tell it to you about segmentation. I have been giving you about the traveler in you, about the foodie in you, about the artist in you, about anything, about the scientific inquiry in you, about the fact that you are obsessed with money. So probably we are trying to segment up. Trying to create segments and probably categorize people into those segments. That is what we are looking into. People with similar needs. People may be sharing one characteristic or more characteristic. They need to be understand that they may come from the same community, may not come from the same community, may come from the same location, may not come from the same location. Despite that, they share affinity for a particular interest, beliefs, and values, and that is what segmentation is all about. It now is the case of TA or target audiences from whom the product or the service is meant. Most likely, it is in the age group. Teenagers would be fascinated with certain products which might not appeal probably a 50 plus age gentleman or a lady. So there are likes, there are dislikes, there are gender, there are socioeconomic factors, geographic location, and so on and so forth that comes around it. Positioning refers to the image of your target audiences regarding your product, your things. So this is where you are creating or probably value propositioning about your product. It is the image that you create about your product, about your service, and probably you can always be relatable to your competitors. It is all the more essential in today's setup where literally no sector is devoid of an oligopolistic setup altogether. Primarily, in the most cases, the only objective is to highlight your product USP, unique selling proposition. I've been trying to tell it to you in the most striking fashion. The principles of effective communication, let's say in terms of marketing, what, who, where, and how much. These four questions needs to be there. We come to who we are targeting, where is the place, what is the product, and how much is the price. Remember the promotion mix, the marketing mix that we spoke around it. Who, what, where, and how much. This at the end of the day, if this is marketing mix, can we have an outcome in terms of a form, channel, and a period time? This is what we will be looking into it time and again. So, and then last but not the least is what was it all about it? How do you co-process it? Remember, the product comes the way this way as the case might be. So identifying the target audience is what we are looking at it. Definitely, yes, this is what has been the desired impact, the choice of communication channel that comes around it. Remember, teenagers would be fobbing with their mobile, so it is always better to capture the attention of the teenager on their mobile, whereas probably a middle-aged gentleman or a lady would be moving on their cars, and it might be a fact that they might see it on the billboards while traveling. So you need to understand, is billboard the viable product or viable medium, or online being the viable medium, look for it and decide for it. So that is where the choice of communication channel comes around. The message is very important, the budget is very important, the communication program is very important, and which needs to be completely under control, needs to be evaluated as on when on basis. Remember, identifying target audience. This is where we need to segment the audiences based on their ideas, based on their beliefs, based on their attitude, their impression and action regarding an object. People are passionate, people are left oriented, people are right oriented, talking politically, people are conservative, people are uh, liberal, and so on and so forth. It is the way you carry the thought process that you go around. It is your beliefs, it is your ideas, it is your attitude, and so on and so forth. So let us understand the choice of communication channel one by one. First and foremost thing, in a personal channel, you need to advocate about your brand. Be an expert with, as far as the channels are, as far as the branding is concerned, the product is concerned, and be sociable, be attainable, be reachable, be communicable, and that is what we are looking forward to. Non-personals are the events and atmosphere, media, print, broadcasting, network, and electronic display, as the case might be. This is what we are talking, which is absolutely not having a two-way contact. In a personal channel, you will have a two-way communications, but not in events, atmosphere, and media. So this is almost non-personal. It is wherein we talk about one-way communication. So design the message based on the content. Be rational, be emotional, be moral. Message structure has to be with both the sides argument, with a single side argument, coming to a conclusion then and thereby. You need to understand what you are doing good, give it priorities, give the orders of presentation thrust upon it, design message accordingly. It should appeal to your rational brain or it should appeal to your emotional side. Are you talking about ethical issues? Are you talking about the social problems? Now design the content of the message and the product around it. Weave message accordingly. So message source should be credible and it should be endorsed. We talking about endorsement, you can talk about a reputable brand ambassador wherein they vouch for the products and things get laid out very easily. Remember, the message has to be formatted keeping the media in mind as to where it is being promoted, how it is being promoted, the layout, the props, the model, the music, the voice, everything needs to be taken into consideration before you actually enact upon it. Establishing marketing communication budget, affordable methods, percentage of sales method, competitive parity method, and object and task method. Now this is how you go about budgeting it. So what is one is certain budget that you have allocated which is rational by you, or you say for every percentage of sales, I will devote certain percentage into the marketing effort. Now that is one of the sales method that goes around it. It can be competitive parity, as in how much is the budget for the competitors is spending upon it. You have to match that budget probably to outdo them. And object and task oriented methods, probably the social media or the medium that you utilize needs to be taken into consideration as to what kind of budget it will be demanding. That is what we are looking into it. Remember, decision on marketing communication mix are all about personal selling, giving a direct presentation to the client, approaching the customers, and making a sales proposition, sales pitch. Then is an advertisement, is a paid impersonal message communication with clearly identified sponsored. Sales promotion is demanding stimulating activities designed to supplement advertisement, facilitate personal selling. Public relation, a planned communication effort by an organization to contribute generally to the favorable attitude and opinions towards the organization, its product. Publicity, this is what is very important. A special form of public relations that involves news stories about the organization or its product. This is what we should be appealing to here and everywhere. So yes, decisions are regarding personal selling, advertising, sales promotion, public relations, and publicity stunt that comes around it. It's basically an event that we keep weave around a product. We need to build upon a public relation. Remember, in to measure the results, we need to understand the recall factor, the recognition ability, and most importantly, the message. So target audiences should be able to recognize your product, should be able to recognize your brand, and most importantly should be able to decipher the message very lucidly. This is what we come across with it. So what can influence the Markov mix? The Markov mix, remember, it's a product, it's a type of product or a service. It can be B2B. When I say B2B, it is business to business. Then we have a product life cycle. It goes from the early stage to a development stage to a stability stage and to the growth stage thereby. So that is what we are looking into. In which stage do we are we sustaining level of consumer readiness to accept the product? Somewhere down the corner we need to understand, is this product readily available? Is the consumer already known about the product? Probably you are just launching a new brand of the product or variation of the product, or are you creating a new product all by in itself and trying to establish the taste of the consumers and probably cultivate them and orient them to the particular of their products. So promotion strategy should be pull or push as the case might be, which we have discussed it. We should always keep a note about the competitors. Marcom mix is all about it, how the competitors is faring, the financial resources that you have. And with this I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.